So a lot of people do not like the job our governor is doing, put me in that category. There are some who are so angry, they're going to recall him. A longtime friend of mine, Kataline, thank you for being here.
Hi, John. Good to be with you.
Now, you and I are going to disagree on this one. So
it's okay.
Tell me why you're working on an effort to recall him, and you're actually out petitioning right now to recall our governor.
That's right.
First, let's start off with a simple question. What did he do wrong? And be real fast on that one so we can get to the good gossipy stuff.
He's governing in an entirely different way that he campaigned. If he would have campaigned saying, you know what, Coloradans, I want you to send me to the governor's office so I can take your vote away for president in 2020, I think he might have gotten a little fewer votes. Besides which, we have a monopoly of Democrat power under the Gold Dome, and there were a lot of people whose voices were not being heard and listened to.
All right, but to be clear, you're not accusing him of any malfeasance. There's not a high crime or misdemeanor. This is all policy difference driven, that he didn't represent himself the right way.
He's a politician.
All right. And by the way,
and I have nothing against him personally, and of course I speak for, in this capacity, dismisspolis.com, and that's who I represent.
Right. And let me be clear. There are a lot of people who believe that the recall needs to be held as this last atomic weapon, for mutually assured destruction. You never take. I'm not in that category at all.
Good.
I think it is a perfectly legitimate tool for people to exercise their control over government, and we've seen both sides use the recall successfully.
Yes.
I just see no possible way that this is going to be successful. So can you tell me with a straight face that you guys have a shot of recalling this governor?
We have a shot at recalling this governor. Is it a Herculean task? Yes. I've been quoted in the newspaper and the media saying it is a Herculean task. But just because it's a Herculean task doesn't mean it's not possible and doesn't mean that it isn't worthwhile. Remember Donald Trump? Everyone said he couldn't possibly win. And he has defied all the odds. So just because it's difficult doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
It's not difficult. It's nutty. It is impossible.
Then don't sign the petition, John.
I won't sign the petition, but it cannot happen. And so I'll tell you what. I'll be happy to give you odds. I mean, I will. You put down your 401k.
I'll put it. What do you mean it cannot?
That there will be no way you guys get this on the ballot in the time frame required. You need to get over 10,000 valid signatures a day, and you only have now, 57 days in which to do it.
And you base that it's impossible based on that, you're saying?
I say, more than that. One, it's impossible, I believe, given...
What if we got 10,000 in the first couple days and 50,000 towards the middle? And we're not aiming at 10,000 at the beginning.
That'd be perfect.
I will tell you this.
I will give anybody you want odds. I just don't see. I know how difficult it is to get 120,000 signatures.
Right.
And I've done a lot of initiatives in my time to get 650,000.
Weren't you the one, though, that said Trump couldn't possibly win?
No, I didn't say he couldn't win. I just said I didn't think he was going to win.
Okay. Well, you didn't think we were going to succeed. It's a worthwhile effort. People want their voices heard. My question to you and to other people who are unhappy with what's going on in Colorado is, what is a bridge too far? If taking away your vote for president, if going to allowing sheriffs, half of whom have already said they will not do it, and confiscating, desensitizing people to confiscate people's guns without due process in violation of about 5 different amendments. And they're claiming it's,
If I thought there was a possible shot, a 3-to-1 shot, a 5-to-1 shot, I might be excited about a recall. What I worry about, and I'm being very partisan here, is that when recall efforts fail, it empowers the other side greatly. I'll case in point to what happened with state representative, oh my God, I'm blanking out on his name right now, whose son was shot.
Sullivan.
Sullivan. So, I mean, that was a silly effort to begin with. It really didn't have a shot. Now, because the Bloomberg folks decided, well, we better get ready for that, this man now has, what, $250,000 in his bank account for his next race.
Let me tell you why this is a problem, that position. Because it's defensive. You're being very defensive. You're saying, well, we don't want to empower the left. Have you seen how bizarre and unhinged the left is? Did you see the Kavanaugh hearings with people hammering on the doors of the Supreme Court? They are already pretty organized, okay? What we're not is joining together and saying, okay, we don't have a voice right now in Colorado. We want to force Governor Jared Polis to stand for re-election and explain his votes.
Yes, and I want my hair back and to be 3 inches taller. So given that we only have so much money on our side, given that we only have so much manpower, so much hours in the day, my comeback is this. Use those limited resources in targeted ways that can actually have good chances for victory. Case in point, the effort against House member Galindo, where she was going to be recalled. That was a winnable,
that was valuable.
And it was valuable.
And she stepped down.
And this fight against the national popular vote, I believe we will prevail on that, and we will push back and have a policy victory. That's a victory. I think a potential recall of someone like Leroy Garcia, who's obviously not voting with his district in Pueblo. These are in the realm of possibility. And you also ought to do some polling before you go running in to see what it is. And in all those cases, I can tell you, before the trigger is pulled, you take a look at the target. I've seen no evidence,
John,
that'll work. So why not choose other targets that have a higher probability of success?
Well, because you're not in charge of all Republicans. As you know, it's like
I've noticed.
It's like herding cats. You cannot organize conservatives, Republicans, liberty-loving people the way the Democrats do. The Democrats collectivize everyone, take away people's individuality, and tag you as either a racist or a perpetrator, a woman or a toxic masculine guy. It's all collective. You can't organize conservative, liberty-loving people that way. What you can do is give them a structure within which to have their voice heard. And that's what Dismiss Polis is doing. There are people that are actively sabotaging this movement. What tells me is that somebody's threatened, because there's a sabotage movement against this recall of Polis, the likes of which I personally have never seen. I don't know who all.
And do you believe that's because they're afraid you're going to succeed?
No, I don't know why. Okay. I don't know why. It might be that somebody's afraid that Governor Polis will have a black eye because of it. I really don't know. And I'm only conjecturing here. All I can tell you is that there are numbers and numbers. I've seen amazing passion and enthusiasm about just losing our state completely. We're losing our state.
Have you seen any polling numbers that would indicate, if you were able to get 650,000 valid signatures in the next 2 months, that you'd be able to win at the ballot box? You see
no, we don't have we're a ragtag group of people that have volunteered. By the way, I want to answer this charge that some people, and I've been talking on this a lot lately, and that is people are saying this takes millions and millions of dollars. You know when it takes millions of dollars? When there are deep pockets of people who pay petitioners because those petitioners are only there to make $10, $15, sometimes $30 an hour. That is all the reason they're there. When you have a riled up populace in Colorado with people chomping at the bit to get out there and recall Governor Polis, because if it weren't for Governor Polis, I got nothing against him personally, and neither does Dismiss Polis. We have a profound disagreement with him on the direction he's taking Colorado, and those people want a structure within to have their voice heard.
You and me both on that. What I worry about is the overwhelming likelihood that this doesn't make it to the ballot, and what that does is reaffirm that Polis, the recall effort doesn't have the juice that most Coloradans still don't want it to happen.
They can
in the same
spin
way,
it that way.
Of course they're going to spin it that way.
But that's
also,
not the truth. Just like it's not the truth that Republicans are the gang that couldn't shoot straight, because there's certain people in some of these organized groups who are sabotaging the effort and spending all of their time, just a few, spending all of their time trying to sabotage the recall instead of doing it. And I think that's partly so that conservatives will lose faith. And all I've heard from people who are confused is, boy, we're such a pathetic group. We can't do anything right. We can't get on the same page. Somebody wants to get credit. Well, guess what? That we've been Steele dossiered, John. We've been Steele dossiered.
I don't even know what that means.
You don't?
I'll go to Urban Dictionary.
The Steele dossier. We've been Kavanaugh.
Oh, okay, got it.
All right? That's another one.
Listen,
that's the
less
strategy.
Than a minute. Less than a minute.
Yes.
So in 57 days, how many signatures do you think you'll have?
I'm not a prognosticator.
All right.
Our goal is 900,000 signatures, because we know we're going to lose some. 900,000. And guess what? Every petition has 80 signatures on it. And if people went door to door all through the state, we could get this done. All they got to do is go to dismisspolis.com. There are signing locations everywhere, and you can sign the petition. And guess what? It's the only petition out there to recall Polis. So you want to recall him?
10 seconds.
Sign it.
He gets recalled. Who becomes governor?
I don't know, but it'll be fun to watch.
It will be fun. All right, one last time. Dismisspolis.
Dismisspolis.com. Just keep watching, because there are new signing locations every day.
Always a pleasure. Thank you much. Listen for me on KHOW Radio. Read me in the Post. Check out the Independence Institute. We'll see you next week.